everyone, welcome to the second episode of Ask a Leader. So last episode we have invited Helen Song who talked about her growth as an entrepreneur in USANA itself, and we have received tremendous great response as we move along. So today I have invited Precious Donasia, our Executive 4-star Diamond Director, who has been through a long journey together with us. I think we have known each other for quite some time, right?
10 years.
10 years? More than 10 years, oh my god. During the last episode, Helen celebrated her 10th anniversary with us. So
This year will be our 11th.
11? My god, I've known you for 11 years. Everyone, please do guess how old am I? I'm definitely younger than Precious, I hope so. But that's not the truth, right? But anyway, our topic for today is why great leader embrace simplicity. And Precious over here, she is not only our Executive 4-star Diamond Director, she is also a recipient of our Personalization Award, right? And recently, she has also been awarded the Dennis Wiley Excellence Leadership Award. So can you share with us how does this receiving this award means to you?
So for the Dennis Wiley Leadership Award that we received just recently, it really means about growth for me. Because when we started doing this business, we were like very amateurs. We don't have any background about this business. But as we go along the way, we really saw, I really saw the difference in me, the growth that I really had from a person who has no background, no confidence, don't even know how to lead myself to be consistent, to now someone who's actually leading a team already.
Wow, I mean, those people who have not seen Precious, I've seen her for 11 years, my god. Recently, she has been doing a lot of exercise, right? You have been a proving example of being skinny and you are able to gain muscle. Congratulations on that. I think throughout the journey of USANA itself, Precious has really proved herself. One of the stories that I love to tell people about her is that when she was running for Gold Director, she was carrying her first baby, right? Tiffany. So, what can you share with us that moment? Why do you really want to? I mean, you're pregnant, heavily pregnant, and what makes you want to run for Gold Director during that time?
So actually, when we started USANA, we were part-time. I was working in the hospital on different shifts, so morning, afternoon, night. And when we were ready for Gold, actually that was our wedding.
Oh,
yeah, that was our wedding. And so a lot of people were telling me, hey, you have to prepare for the wedding. But for me, I was working every day for 6 days a week, and I was still doing the business. And after we hit the Gold Director, it was during our wedding. So during our wedding, and after that, I got pregnant. It was for the routine run. So that time, I was still working in hospital, and for most pregnant ladies, maybe after work, they just go home and rest. But for me, I was there in the office, even until midnight.
Part-time basis?
Part-time,
oh
yes.
My
yes.
God.
So my drive for that is really to be able to have more time with my daughter, because I don't want to be working full-time and I wouldn't have time for my family. So that was the very clear goal in my mind, that I'm doing this sacrifice is only temporary. I was thinking, anyway, I'll be sacrificing for like how many years I'll be working still in that situation. I was telling myself, I'll make it advanced. So later, it's like a lump sum to withdraw in the future. So I told myself I'd rather spend time now, work hard now, sacrifice now, so that in the future I really get the dream, the life that I want.
I really admire you for that, because what you say, I do agree. Because if you are young, you should really take that opportunity to go and fight it out and venture out. There's nothing much to lose when you are young. You can really go out, invest all your time and just work hard for that few years, and then you will reap the rewards. But working hard doesn't mean that you will gain full success as we move forward. Having great leadership is also very important. And at your age at that time, 11 years, come back a little bit, 11 years ago, 28 years old, which at that time is deemed as young.
Yeah.
Young and mature. How do you lead a team? I mean, in your opinion, is leadership born or made?
For me, leadership is made, although there are great leaders that the traits seem to be inherent to them. Like we see, I can see it in my kids, right? Like my daughter has a different trait, like some leadership skill already, but she's still young compared to my other son, my other kid. But for me, leadership is really molded through your environment. So what I did is, in order for myself to really be able to lead others, I started to lead myself first. Because I, as far as I understood, leading by example is not the main thing in leadership, it's the only thing. So in order to really actually influence people to get to do what you want them to do, you have to show them first. So first, I made sure I lead myself to being consistent in doing the business. So invested in equipping myself with the right knowledge and the skills. And after that, do it myself and show them the example. And that's when my team saw that, hey, look at this lady working in the hospital on different shifts. Even if she doesn't have time, she still made it. Even if she was prepared for a wedding, she still hit a goal, even if she was pregnant. So I think that really is the most important, because they don't listen to what you just say. People look at your action and they follow what you do. Yeah.
Exactly. I think lead yourself. A lot of people don't understand that concept. Like what Precious has said, leading yourself means that you wake up at 8 a.m., you turn up at appointment at 9 p.m., you are consistent, you preserve and you do things that needs to get you over there. And that is called leading yourself. And by doing all these things, it actually helps you to simplify a lot of procedures, a lot of steps, and come up with your own proven method, because you are like right at the beginning, looking at how things is being done, trying to figuring out things, because you are alone in Singapore, right? Yes, you have your sponsor right in Singapore, and you have to figure out a lot of things on your own. How does simplicity help you in your leadership, and how do you lead your team?
So simplicity helps me to actually stick to those actions myself, and it helps for the people, for my team to also see that it's doable, and that's when duplication is easier. Yeah, for simplicity. Like for me, if you're doing USANA, a lot of people, they're very overwhelmed. Like, how can they do this? I want financial freedom. I want to hit this. For me, just focus on one goal at a time. I tell you, we hit goal director, maybe until we be director, we only learn 2 skills. How to present and orientation, the NDO, new distributors orientation. I didn't spend much time to those very high-end learning, because I know these are the skills or these are the goals that I need. So for me, if you're new, you focus on, let's say you're platinum pay setter first. Don't mind about the goal director yet. Yeah, you will get there. I'm not telling you you're not going to get that, but don't be overwhelmed. Just focus. I will tell them, write down PPS, think about it every day, and think, how will you hit it? Of course, you need to talk to people. So what is the skill that you need to know? Prospecting, inviting. So focus on those first. If you don't know how to present, you may have your sponsor to help you, but if not, then you have to learn how to present. So one skill at a time, to hit one goal at a time. And that's when you will be able to reach your other goals.
Wow, very, very clear mindset over here. So I think in our journey of doing USANA, right, I think there are a lot of information that is being bombarded to us. How do you actually digest all this information? Like what our recent Singapore virtual convention, thank you for acting in it. He actually talked about checklist and how do you actually simplify it. I sort of hear from you, it seems like you do have a simplified checklist, a mental checklist. How do you firstly share with us, how do you actually digest complicated information, very complex information, and come up with simple steps and procedure? How do you actually do that? Because I mean, a lot of these entrepreneurs out there, they are also facing this situation, and sometimes they get overwhelmed and sometimes they overthink. So how should they manage that?
Actually, it happens, especially when you grow as a leader, you will have more tasks, you will have more team. So I actually learned this from my husband. So he's actually my mentor. One of my best mentors in this business. I'm a person, honestly, I would admit, I'm a very unorganized person. So before USANA, I was like that, no planning, no anything. So for me, when I started doing this, it's like, well, how will I do it? So my husband would always tell me, okay, write down your ideas. So right now, especially when you're new, there are a lot of, you will learn from different trainings, different mentors, you'll be very confused. What this mentor told me this, what should I do? Like, oh, my team is teaching me this, how come this team is teaching a different thing? So for me, what I do is I write it down. So my husband will always tell me, you know what, that's why you're overwhelmed, you cannot sleep sometimes because there's so many things in your head. So what I did, I bought a planner. I'm very, old school. So that's why I remember you playing, oh, you still right there, you have to write on your, the phone, right? Sorry, I'm not so good in that. So I bought a planner. I still have a planner with me right now. So yesterday my son was even telling me, oh, mommy, you have a calendar and you have notes. Yes, I have. So what I do, I write it down, all the ideas. And especially in deciding for the team, like what trainings to do, what should I do, I would actually filter them. I would go through all my ideas one by one. I would say, would this work or not? Yes or no? If yes, then what can I do about it? And after that, simplify it and just write it in bullet points. And usually, if like I have, there are a lot of events coming out, so my team will be very confused. Hey, there's promo here, promo there. So usually, I would put it down in a poster and just summarize everything. So that's what I do: write it down and cross out those things that may not be applicable to you, so it doesn't bother your mind. You're like a computer; it will crash. There are a lot of information, and it's very nice to actually cross out those things. So that's what I do.
Yeah, correct. So whenever we talk about managing a team, it is not to manage the people, it is to manage the system.
True.
Organize the system itself, the steps, the procedure, and you lead them.
Correct.
Right. That's exactly why your team came up with mentors and coaches, which is really very different in the work environment where we really focus on companionship, really work together with the team members as we move along itself. So, but do I have to digest everything? I mean, or do we have to simplify everything? Everything we have to come up with a procedure, or in coming up with my own system? Should I simplify everything, have a procedure for everything, or just those key elements?
I think no need to be very, I see some, and honestly, very into details until they don't do action, right?
Oh, exactly.
Like very systematic. I was like, even telling my husband, you know what, we need to have this number 1 to number 3. And then, you know what he did? He printed it out and gave it to me. And then he told me, after 3 days, see, you didn't even read it. Too much information. So no need. What works for you may not work for me. So I don't actually limit my team, hey, this is what you should do. For me, I would talk to them, so what do you do? Does it work with you? If it works with you, that script works with you, that system works with you, I'm okay with that. But I'm here to actually be your mentor, your mentor, your consultant and advisor. So that's what I do. But of course, as much as possible, eliminate those unnecessary steps. So no need to be very write down meticulous about it. But of course, making everything simple, it will be easier. Because why? Confusion kills execution. Right? So many things, this one, we do this. No, just do the basic. Yeah, that's really the key to really create results. Do the basic.
I think I really like what you say, because a lot of people, they think they're trying to be perfect.
Correct.
They're trying to be perfect, and a lot of times they spend a lot of time trying to come up with that perfect system, but actually it is just a skeleton. Where you bring to someone and they can actually deviate from here a little bit. There is a leader who actually shared with me a very good example. He was talking about how a plane flies from one destination to the other destination. There is a designated route, but as you move along, there is turbulence and there is storm. So you need to deviate away from that route a little bit, but you will ultimately still go back.
Correct.
So it's a very good example of how a system is actually being coached or bring it down, duplicate down into the organization. It really depends on that situation and that person itself. So very, very meaningful examples that I learned. Yeah, very, very nice. So I want to go back a little bit about what you said just now. You only learn 2 skills. I think trainings, correct. Trainings is also something I think is overemphasized. And a lot of people feel that they come in, they not the new people but the upline. They feel that they have to teach the person everything. Share with me your opinion on that. Do you think what should a sponsor do and how should a new person be?
Honestly, my style is not like motherhood. So if you're new, of course I will talk to you and really ask you why you want to do this, understand your reason, your why, and of course teach you the basic skills, and of course show you the bigger picture of USANA, why we're doing this. But after that, I will really let you do it on your own. So that's how I do it. If you commit mistakes, it's okay. You will learn through it. For me, honestly, we deleted or removed a lot of training days because we realized we had too much trainings before, and there is no time to apply the trainings learned. So we stick to just the basic trainings, and you will learn more if you apply it. So no matter like riding a bicycle or swimming, right? You don't watch YouTube and learn how to swim, but you will never learn. No matter how much time you spend, you have to do it, and from there you will know, oh, this works for me. And later you will see which part you're strong or which part you're weak, and that's where you can focus on studying again rather than studying the same thing. Actually, in fact, when you go out there and do it, you're actually good at it. And there's something that you lack, so you wouldn't know if you don't go out. So sometimes my teammate would tell me, oh, mentor, I rejected. Okay, which part? What did they tell you? What did you answer? Okay, meaning you're not so good in the handling objection. So that's when you will know. So do it first. After you can do it for this.
Yes, exactly. So in your opinion, in her opinion, all right, it is not a standard response by everyone. So, in your opinion, what kind of skill sets do you think a new person will need?
In my opinion, so at first, of course, you should have the right mindset. So I believe we always say that in our training, 80% of success in business is about the mindset. So 20% is skills. Remember, the mind is like a parachute. It will only work when it's open. So no matter how much skills I give you, if your mind is not prepared or open, you don't know why you're doing this, we have to talk to people, it will not work. So I would encourage you to invest time in really increasing your belief in USANA, believe in our industry, believe in our products, believe in yourself. After that, the skills, because I said the first goal is to be platinum pace setter, is very important to improve our communication skills, talking to people, really breaking making our face stick. Yeah, so prospecting and inviting skills for me are the most important skills when you are new, because that's where we start building our organization.
Wow, this is something that I think is crucial. And really, being new doesn't mean you have to equip yourself with all the product knowledge, everything deep inside. By the time you know all these things, you would have lost all the opportunity out there. I mean, if we were both to start at the same point, I were to choose to learn as much as possible, Precious would have already gone ahead and conquer all the market that I'm supposed to be in. So it's an opportunity cost that we are looking at. So how about moving to a goal director? What kind of skill sets do you think they would do?
So from goal director, so if you're already a goal director, of course you have to develop leadership monitoring skills already. So that is actually honestly my weakness before. So I bring a lot of, because we focus right on prospecting inviting. I brought in a lot of people, and then I wasn't able to retain them. They're all gone. So I realized I lack coaching and monitoring skills. So monitoring, okay, it doesn't mean you register someone, okay, you go on your life right. No, you have to monitor it, this your platform, you set a deadline, This your if you haven't upgraded, this will upgrade. A lot of people I noticed miss these deadlines. So there are a lot of people when they don't hit this, they feel bad. I couldn't do this. I didn't hit my first goal, and they feel very bad. So for me, that's very important to be able to monitor them and coach them. Coaching is different from training. So when you train, you just talk, and it doesn't matter if you're not very sure if your recipient actually understood. But coaching is understanding which part they're stuck. So that's very important because, for example, in the training, you keep on training about presentation, and this person actually brings in like 10 people during your presentation. But nobody signs up because this person lacks closing. So we have to be observant. We have to know where they're stuck so we can coach them. So bring them from this place to another place where they want to be. Yeah, so that's the second most important for me. Coaching and monitoring.
How about when their team gets bigger? When they move up to a diamond level, what do you think is the skill sets, or what is the most important focus for being a diamond?
For being a diamond is really different from being a gold, because for being a gold, you're looking into individuals only. For diamonds, you're looking into leaders already. So I would like to share there are actually different levels of leadership. First, of course, you lead yourself by following your leader, and then after that, you lead those followers. Like, hey, let's attend training. And then later, you will already lead the leaders. So now, if you're a diamond, you cannot talk like if you're 1,000 people, 2,000 people under you, you can talk to everyone. And honestly, you wouldn't know them. So focus on the 20%. So if you are a diamond, you have the skill to actually identify who are the leaders. Because you cannot do it alone. You should be a team. So you have to find the 20% who are these to help you grow the 80%. Yeah. So that is a very big skill because it doesn't. Determining leaders is actually not just about the length of their stay in the business, but actually looking at them, their whole personality, their potential. There are some when they're still new, but you will see the leadership potential already. Yes. So they can be considered their leader.
Very interesting topic. I was having a lot of home meetings recently, so I went house visiting, and there is a few conversation that brought up about being a goal director. So how do you lead a team itself? So I totally agree with what you say. When you are at that level of being a goal director, there are still a lot of things that you do not know. And being a coach and being a mentor help you to discover new things in the future. And it also sharpens your skills. So that's why we always encourage those people who have achieved gold or ruby level to be a coach or to be a mentor is almost similar. I think it is to be a coach that is more important. Be a coach and be there to help your teammates to do certain things because they may face different things that you may not face, and it really helps you to learn a lot more things. And it is being a gold director or ruby director doesn't mean that you go out and start leading people. No. It is actually to stand side by side to fight together.
Good point. I agree.
We totally agree on that, right?
Yeah, so that's what I noticed as well. So a lot of people, when they become gold, you do it on yourself. So it's really being with them. So if you want especially for the new ones, right, you have to be there together with them to grow with them so that they'll be confident that, hey, I'm not alone in doing this.
Yes.
And I agree with you. When you coach them, you will learn different things, and of course, you have to learn it to be able to teach your team. So it will help you it will push you to really learn more. Yeah, so that's very important.
Yeah, I think that's not only just from home. I think being you have a lot of diamonds within your organization, right? So you are also mentoring them and also giving them that kind of companionship.
Yes.
Why is that so?
So for me, even if you're a diamond, you're still a person.
Exactly.
So you know what, like we're not like stones. Even myself, right? So sometimes I talk to Ipe, like we're very blessed. He was very supportive. So it's important that our team, even if they're diamonds or leaders, will still feel that we are there to support them. You know what? There are seasons in our lives. It's not always summer, spring. There are times when there are winter seasons. And during winter season, even if you're a diamond, you will feel down. So just being able to be there for them, to show them that hey, it's not the end of the world. There's still hope. We can do this together. Because if they feel alone, they would like, okay, this is really too much for me. But if they feel that we're there, it will be easier for them to move forward and just
Yes, I think sometimes when we reach a certain stage, I won't say a particular rank, but a certain stage, you will somehow feel stagnant, like losing weight, right? You kind of like get stagnant there, and you really need someone to push you. Especially being an entrepreneur, you do not have a superior or a manager to really chase after you for sales figures. It's really on your own. Yeah. So I mean, at this moment, I mean, we were talking about a lot of things like we realize that behavior has changed over the past 2 years. People tend to be more distant. Yeah, like even standing together, they're 1 meter, or subconsciously they will try to not stand close to one another and lesser interaction. And because we have been wearing masks for almost like 2 years, I think we lost our muscle sense, our facial expression. Yes, we have forgotten how to really interact and engage using our facial expression. I mean, in your perspective, what has changed in leading the team itself? I mean, what is the new norm? I mean, is there any new practices that we need to adopt?
So yes, it really changed from the face-to-face. We get used to face-to-face. It's easier to engage. But during the Zoom meetings, right, it's very difficult. So what we did for our Zoom meetings, because it's not unlike live performance, live face-to-face events. We actually added some activities like before our training in the Zoom for engagement. We have some games because what's important is they get engaged. They feel that they're still involved. Because in face-to-face, they feel like they're involved. Raise your hand, right? So in Zoom, we look for activities that will still make them feel involved. And we're very blessed in Singapore that somehow we can still interact with each other. So we create like activities for fitness activities that brings us all together. That it's not just about training all the time. So it brings the connection back, and once the connection is there, then they will attend again. And once they attend, then that's when they learn. So what we need is to actually be able to engage and connect with our team again, and feel them involved. So look for activities. So right now, like on Sunday, we have team charity activity. So usually we don't see everyone together because it's very difficult. But for charity events, like it's allowed. So I'm very excited on Sunday. Like I think more than 30 of us be able to serve together. Although there is still safe measures in place, but it's still it feels really great to still see their faces. So look for activities that get them involved, not only for the business, but actually the connection, the relationship. And once you have that, it's very easy for them to really do the business.
Yes, I think it is really I think what you have done is really really talks about the USANA collective, our community, our health and everything. So I think I love the hula hoop that you all have been doing and the exercise activities. I mean, it is really fun and engaging. I think you have proven that there are things that can be done in a hybrid manner.
True.
So for example, trainings can be done online. Because people no longer want to sit here and just listen to a training for a long time.
True.
We have heard from other teams, trainings, they prefer a Zoom meetings because they can just listen anytime, anywhere. I mean, and they will prefer activities like what you say, community services, exercise, and even exercise, you all have bring it online.
Yes.
How do you, is it just in Singapore or worldwide?
When we do online, we invite the world.
The world. The world. Wow, my God.
We do yoga. Like one mentor directors organizes our hula hoop yoga. It's not only for Singapore. So it reaches, and it's very amazing because they saw us here in Singapore, with our team in the Philippines. We're actually doing this, and And we did the challenge, the 8 days challenge in Singapore. Singapore always started. It's really, we're really grateful about it. And now our teammates are actually bringing in new people from the activity that we actually set up like a few months ago. So now they're already part of our team, joining us also. Yeah.
Yes, I think this pandemic has actually pushed us, or should I say, expanded that global opportunity that USANA has. In the past, we fly over, but correct, we spend a lot and we go and tour around, eat a lot of delicious food and gain all the way back. But I think this pandemic has really proven, firstly, USANA our global business opportunity, is simplest.
True.
But then technology, it also helped us to push all of us to embrace technology, to really tap on this global opportunity itself. I think I really love how you all invite the world to your yoga. I mean, it is really something that opened our eyes to. So I think it's a really amazing effort, and I congratulate on you bringing this thing to your team itself, and it has bring a lot of excitement, engagement back. I mean, when we were having that Let's Get Active dance, and everyone was so excited, and I love that kind of laughter. I think what didn't change in USANA is that everybody still wants to come together and be part of that community.
Agree, it's really
correct. We are still a big USANA family, and that didn't change, and we can actually bring it across on a lot more different platforms now. So, can you also share with us? I mean, we talk about the new norms, and as we move along your journey in USANA, what is one of the biggest challenges that you have faced?
I think they always say the beginning is the hardest. So for me, I think one of the biggest challenges that I had was when I was starting, since I was working in the hospital. So I really don't have a lot of time. So most people work 9 to 5. So after they finish work, they can meet other people. But for me, when people go home, this is the time I go to the hospital. So imagine, my off are not weekends. My off are when people are actually at work. So I made sure, because that was my schedule, I made sure that I don't waste every single time. So honestly, maybe in my first 2 years in USANA, I maximized every single time. So just today, when I on my way here to the office, somebody messaged me on Instagram asking me how he has a lot of things in his hand. How can he do them? As I said, actually, it's more than the time management, it's priority management. You have to really drop off some of those maybe not so important, to really give time. So what I do, instead of finding time, you cannot find time. You have to make time. So that was my challenge before. So I know I have to do USANA to have the time because I didn't know.
Yes, exactly. I still remember last time that is a mentor of mine, KJ, if you still he made a statement to all the distributors out there. Are you here to play and have fun? It's very interesting. Or are you here to achieve something? So if you are very clear on what you want to achieve in what you do now, no matter what, you will find time. You will make time to do it. If you are here for play, which is, you put it in a very comical way, play, you are here for play group, then you will not be able to achieve your goal stuff. Like what you say right at the beginning, mindset is very, very important.
Yes.
Does this mindset change as you move into different stages in USANA?
Yes. First mindset, before I only want to help myself. Honestly. Okay, I will not be a hypocrite. I just think of myself, my goal and everything. I want to achieve the life. But later on, actually, because of doing that consistently, the income that you want will just be there. Your dream income on a Saturday will just come out on a Sunday. So after that, if you just think of yourself still, your team will suffer. So the mindset will change from you to actually your team. So my mindset now is not just for myself, but this person is a single mom, how can I help her? How can I help my team grow? How about the system? So it's more about being able to grow away from yourself alone, to be able to actually be of service to others.
Yes, I totally agree. I mean, a lot of people, because their interaction are with a lot of diamonds and a lot of different stages of entrepreneurs or leaders within the organization itself. So they tend to feel that, oh no, I have to be like Precious. I have to think like Precious. I have to care for other people. But it is okay to think for yourself right at the beginning.
Correct.
Yes, I think that's a mindset shift, and we need to embrace that. I mean, it is okay and it is almost right for you to really care for yourself first, because like what you say again, lead yourself.
True.
If you don't do things, don't prove yourself, I mean, it's very difficult for you to lead someone else. And that's the basis and foundation for building a big organization, world organization, as you put it, a world organization. And that's the reason why you love USANA.
Yes. It's really amazing to see, like, when my teammate rank advanced, like I cried more than maybe my team. Like, did I cry?
Definitely you cry. I can tell.
But I think I cried more with my team, like, honestly, like how many years I don't know. But it's really amazing to see, like, you may not be like 100% it's your help, but even a part of it, like some words you said. When I went to convention, sometimes there people will come to me and they say, you know what? I almost give up, and I heard your talk. And you know what? Now I'm a Ruby director. I'm now a Diamond director. You were there in Australia, you were pregnant. Now I'm a Star Diamond. It's really amazing how in just a little action that we make or words that we say, we can actually impact the world. And we have the influence. The USANA platform is a very good platform to be able to really inspire, influence other people out there.
Yeah, I think all of your stories, all of our successful entrepreneurs, or not even some of our Silvers or Cheryls, their stories have helped a lot of people see hope.
Agree.
I think that is very, very important, because at this pandemic, especially as we move along, the amount of stress that we are facing, and when we are able to see changes and transformation, it gives us hope that we are not in that pit. We are able to get out of it. I think that is very, very important, and I really love your passion for USANA. And then you are one of the leaders that we have always invited to speak across Asia and also in US. I mean, your energy has influenced a lot of people. By the way, she has toned down a bit more today. We told her not to be too energetic. We are strapping her to the seat itself. I'm very appreciative of what you shared today. I mean, it has really helped a lot of people and inspired a lot of people. I mean, there are a lot of people out there who are a bit lost. Like what you said, they hear from here, and what should they do? I mean, there are a lot of good advice that's being given, and ultimately you still need to take everything and put it down and see what works for you.
Yes.
And think it through. Does it work or does it not work? And don't think too long.
Correct.
I think don't think too much. Don't think too long and don't think too much. A lot of us, before we act, we have already think that we will fail.
True. Haven't even tried.
Yeah, haven't even tried, and you have a lot of problems. Foreseeing is important, but you must come up with a solution.
True.
You cannot look at something and feel that, hey, wow, there are this hurdle that cannot do. But when you see problems, find solution and overcome all these hurdles, and you will be one day sitting over here in white. And in white, we are not representing any other, but representing USANA brand. So, thank you very much, Precious, for your time today, and I hope everyone enjoyed our episode of Ask a Leader.